What is going on, guys? Welcome back to our Everquest Enchanter adventures. Rectu/CharmedYou here. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, we're going to be diving into Chardok. Now, Chardok is a high-level zone with lots of great gear that drops there, as well as a lot of great quests that we can start fulfilling for some really great items as well. Now, we are in the timeline on Everquest where we are in Chardok 2.0. Chardok first releases when Chardok expansion rolls out, and there's not really much there. There's the enemies, there's some good items, there's some names, but they don't have a lot of the extra things that happen when they revamp Chardok later on in the Velius aspect of the timeline, and that's called Chardok 2.0. Now, during this stage of Chardok, we have a lot of extra things that have been added. Not only the same type of mobs and stuff, but you have now faction that is included with the zone. You have a lot of great quests, like I mentioned, where you can get some items, and there might have added more names. I'm not sure if the names were already there in Chardok 1.0 or if they don't get put in until 2.0. All I know is that on Chardok 2.0, there's a ton of great items, a ton of great camps that you can make a lot of money. Now, I have never done Chardok other than like farming at the entrance zone during the 1.0 timeline. So I don't really know Chardok that much. I've just been kind of exploring here this past week, and that's why I figured I'd do a little video here, try and dive in, find as many good camps as possible, get some good items, and hopefully try and take out the Prince at the end in a solo challenge. Now, we are starting our Chardok adventures here in the Temple of Droga. I actually did a video on the Temple of Droga years ago on Rectu, and we are here because, again, there's faction now involved with Chardok. So what we can do is we can work our faction, increase our faction with Chardok to allow us to be able to walk freely through that zone so that we don't have to kill our way down or crawl our way down. We can just run down to the mobs and really take advantage of the faction that we're able to gain. So we're here in Temple of Droga. We're just going to come here. We're going to kill as many goblins as possible. These goblins drop both the green goblin skins as well as the Death Mountain mineral salts. Both of those can be turned in at Chardok at a named mob right at the entrance of the zone to increase your faction. Now, right now, I am at Threatenly on the faction level. So when I go to Chardok, I can cast Collaboration and I can start running around in like a dubious or an apprehensive faction level. So I'm pretty good, but what I want to do is come in and just get as much faction as possible so that I can be above that threatening level. Because if I camp out in Chardok right now, then I'm in trouble, I would die, and so forth. So I'm just going to go through, pretty much fast forward through all this farming, because you don't need to see that. But I'm going in Droga here. What's great about Droga is that there's some good camps here that drop some good items. So we can come on in, move our way down into the Earring of Essence camp or the Idol of the Thorn camp. Both of those sell for like 1,000 or 2,000 plat, and they just have a lot of what do you call them? Goblins all around. So we're coming through. Let's go ahead and just kind of get to our spot. I'm going to pop out my animation and pretty much just go from there. They most likely, oftentimes you'll see groups here that are doing like a very large kite or a large pole where you're bringing in all the goblins you can just for that faction. I think I read on the wiki that it takes like 620 green goblin skins to go from kill on sight to a kindly faction order. So for every single individual skin, I believe it's 3 faction points that you get. So we're looking at anywhere from 1,800 to 2,000 as far as the faction needed. Now, every goblin you kill, I believe, gives you 1 point of faction. So you can see how it just kind of adds up. It goes pretty quickly, though, when you get it going. I don't really remember where I'm supposed to go, but we'll figure it out. Now, your animation as an Enchanter does very well killing these things. Typically, just try and cancel magic when you pull them because they'll often have a damage shield, and that will often hurt your guy quite a bit. Just like damage your pet that doesn't need to be damaged. Most likely, these big camps are taken. All right, where the heck do I need We are at the entrance of Chardok. I did about an hour there in Droga. We'll see where my experience or my faction is. This Herald Telka here, this is where we want to turn in the green goblin skins and our Mountain Death mineral salts. Now, he's not going to attack me. Now, I did get up to dubious, it looks like, by the amount of kills I got in Droga. So now I don't have to cast collaboration to be able to walk around, but we'll go ahead and turn these in and cast it anyways, because if I'm going to kill some stuff, then my faction is going to go down. So we're just pretty much turning one at a time. You can do 4 at a time. It's every individual green goblin skin does a quest. Way too loud. And then every 2 of the death salts do a quest. So just get these out of the way. Now that I do this, I'll be able to camp out just anywhere down there. Before, I was worried about camping out in a bad spot with the enemies, because then I would have to when I log in, I got to cast collaboration to be able to run around. And as you'll see, Chardok's pretty heavy loaded with your enemies here. And it's typically heavily camped by some high-end enemies too. Still dubious, but that's alright. We are still dubious, like I said, but again, that's cool. I'm going to go with our gnome illusion just so we can kind of take a look around. We're going to go ahead and just kind of run around, take a look around, give a feel of the zone, show you some camps that I know where the enemies are. Still, I'm a little off track of where certain named mobs do spawn. So we may just have to figure out as we go. But overall, we do know where most of the really good ones are. So the entrance here, there is no way back out of the entrance right at the entrance zone. You'll have to run around to the other side. Now, on this new computer, I can't bring up a map effectively right now the way I've got it set up, so I can't really show you the zone layout. But overall, it's pretty simple to work with, especially once you got the faction. You know, you're not too worried about it. There's nothing that's going to aggro me in the entire zone. We're coming down into just a straight hallway, get into the entrance area. Now, again, if I want to leave and zone out, then I go down this path, and we just run up that way, and you're good to go. And you can see that little tunnel there. The further in we go, we can exit by going up that way as well. But overall, we're coming into the entrance, and there's really like 3 different zones, or I guess 2 different zones. There's the Royals area, there's the bank and underground area, and I guess you have the top area, you might call it. So we're just kind of running through. Now, a lot of people know their shortcuts and stuff. I'm not too familiar, but you can jump down and run through hallways. We'll just take kind of the straight path going here. So all the names, we want to go ahead in this video, try and take them all out. This Di'zok Observer, this is a placeholder for an observer. I'm not sure exactly on the names. Drops decent stuff, nothing like out of this world. I think like 1 club for like 10k, and then the rest are kind of, you know, mid-level. So that's our first name spawn that we can come up to here. And I'm mostly just like running through, seeing if any names are up when I'm wake up or get over to the zone. And if there's not, I typically am not killing just for the faction fears. But as I get higher and higher faction, we should be good to go. Once I get to Kindly, we'll be able to do the higher level quests here as well. Alright, now we're getting into the little bridge area where it's like a 3-way area. You can see this is like the center zone here. You got some ancient guardians that pop here, sometimes can have some stuff. Over here is a good spot that people like to fight, has a little stun on the bridge. But this guy, that inspector back there, he will pop a named as well. A really good name, if I remember correctly. Drop some really good stuff. Let me see if I can remember what the guy's name is. Something Inspector. I'm Arch Inspector Nibsy. I'm pretty sure. Now he can drop the Pearly Sarnak Bauble, the Di'zok Scepter of Authority, the Devastator, and he drops Dead Man Floating as well often. So a couple K on each of those. 10,000 for the Bauble Earring, which is pretty solid. You'll get a lot of these guys in here that do like a 10,000 to 15,000 drop. Now you can see this room is an absolute nightmare. So there's special tricks here. Now I've not actually camped this room yet, but I've been watching others do it. And just like we kind of did in the Fellspine, we're going to, with the pH, we're charming the pH and letting everything here kill the pH, and then we log out. Now what typically I think they do is you want to have Levitate cast on you. If I cast into air elemental form, I'm pretty sure that hurts my faction and they'll kill me. So I don't want to do that. But if you have, a lot of people use the Levitation Cloak, the Peggy Cloak, or you just have Bat Wings and you cast Levitate, you pretty much charm that guy. They're all killing him. You run this way and you're going to jump down off the bridge down into that corner. And then from there, you're going to gate out. That is typically how I've seen folks do it. That way, because the run path for them to get down to you is over the 8-second cast time, quite a bit more. So you can get out, and in that case, you're going to want to be bound at the entrance, so you can just kind of run back in. Now, to actually fight him, I'm pretty sure that they're just pacifying most of the things around here and then fighting them back in that corner. I honestly couldn't tell you how exactly they're doing it. I've not actually watched it just yet, but that will be a future section of the video. All right, let's go ahead and gnome up. So I'll go down into the Royals section. Now up here, there's quite a few names that also drop some good stuff. You can see the guy's been petted here with all the torches. Now down here, this is heavily farmed. You can see Maka here. Any of these skeletons, I believe, have a chance of popping a name down here. Can't remember the exact named it is, but I think he dropped some pretty good stuff. We've got this guy here, right where I'm standing, is a PH for the Grave Master. So you can see that guy's been killing them there. It looks like he's killing that one skeleton that pops right here, and then just killing the placeholder there as well. So those are two that we want to be taking out in the video. We're coming down into this section. This is where we're getting to the royal area with the prince, the king, and the queen. Raid zone mostly. There's going to be a trap on this bridge. Hit you. Good 25% life it'll take off. Keeps me levitated. And let's go. Alright. Alright, so we're coming on through here. Oh, that hit me another one. Dang. Took off more than half my life. I gotta be careful walking back out. Alright, so back here, if we go to the right in the back room, you're gonna find the Prince room. Now, my ultimate goal with this zone is to kill and solo the Prince. There he is. He's got his axe. Look at the room he's dealing with. He's like a level 61 or 62 or something. Very, very tough mob. Can be soloed. Not many people will attempt it or anything, but it will take most likely a Wand of Allure, where we've got 2 or 3 pets that we can use, or using our Reaper of the Dead, where we can use a complete heal, kind of like we did with Emperor Chardok. So that is going to be our ultimate goal, to kill the Prince. We need him for our epic quest too. You got to get his head. The guild often comes down here and does this stuff as well, but that is kind of the goal, is to solo him. Pretty much I would go ahead and pacify the entire room, pull him out over into our hallway over here. There's no pathers or anything, so right here in the hallway, I'm pretty sure you are safe if you were to fight him right here. And you got your pets are going to be these guys and so forth. Now the other room over here, these are all locked doors as well, so we can't get in there without a rogue. Obviously you do your stalking probe trick, another locked door. This one goes down to the queen and king, which is far out of our solo abilities. And also you need a rogue to get down there. But that is the royal guard, royal section. Now we'll go down below where most of the names do pop around here, and I'm still learning what they are. Hopefully, hopefully they don't kill me. I got freaking swapped by those traps there. 7% health. Okay, 20, better. We're lucky that second trap didn't go off. Alright, so we're making our way back up to the three-way. And keep in mind that I might be missing a lot of names on this too, since I'm not 100% familiar. Did that guy leave? But overall, got an idea. I almost just want to sit and watch this guy and see what he's doing. Alright, so we're back at the three-way over here. We're going to take the last pathway. We got a few things. You got the captain spawns in here. He has a name. That's just his placeholder right there. Now you got a path going down, path going up. Going up will get us back into the entrance, that little cliff walkway I showed you. At the entrance, this will drop you out there, and you can go to the zone line. Going down gets us into all the good stuff. And this is where I'm not 100% sure on a lot of the names in this area. But as I farm and record the kills and everything, we'll have a lot more information in that part for sure. Pretty much just heading down. Now what's cool down here is there is a bank. There's a bank, there's vendors, there's all that good stuff. That guy's been charmed, so you gotta imagine there's a name that pops somewhere here. Alright, so let's go ahead and go this way first. Be nice if one was up so we could just like show. Okay, so we're getting here. I'm pretty sure that this guy right here is a placeholder for the underboss, or one of the guys. Could be completely wrong about that, but in the wiki they show the name, and in the background it shows that little symbol on the wood there. So I'm pretty much assuming that that is the PH for an underboss. I know that I've seen a guy torched here. So it's either one of these two over here, that's the PH, or this guy. And I'm pretty sure that the name has underboss in it, so I'd assume that a Selrach underboss would probably be his PH. And there might be more than one underboss as well. You got underboss Meal Key. It looks like that's it, so that might be our guy. I don't know if he drops anything worthwhile. Level 57 warrior. Let's see, a no drop item. A tattered flesh veal that goes for a couple thousand. And then the Nassar leggings go for about 4K as well. So not too bad. Alright, so up through this way, I know there are 2 or 3 name spawns. I'm not sure what they are. We got Niblik over here as for a quest. He's like a little level 1 or something. Very low level. But he's for something. Someone's epic or something. Slave driver, so you got to imagine that one of these guys here. I know there's a PH somewhere right here. There's 2 guys here I'm not 100% sure on. Okay, we're getting to the herb area, the herb collector. Or the herb master or whatever. Herbalist. So we've got a few here. You've got this guy here will pop for a wizened herbalist. And you've got the master herbalist will pop right there where the Di'zok herbalist is. So those are 2 named as well. Alright. And I know that one of these up here. is a placeholder. I'm just not sure which ones. I know we got 2 or 3 mobs in here in these little pathways that have our placeholders. But we'll get those. I'll have that information once we kill them all. I'll be able to break it down easy for you guys. Alright, so from our herbalist area, we can go back to the left. We've got 2 more that I know back here, and then the bank area, which has some really good stuff. But again, very difficult kills, a lot of these. And the tunnels here and everything, pretty simple. Veteran underboss, that might be a placeholder too. See, now I'm getting a little lost in my path. I need to go west, right? Okay, so this is right here is going to be a placeholder that pops right there. Might be the overseer, underboss, or one other. Can't remember the name. Foreman. It's probably the foreman. Let me grab a lock real quick so I have that in my notes. Alright, one of these guys is another placeholder, I believe. Might have been the other way. Okay, so he says that is the overseer spawn right there. We have that one overseer. One overseer up top I talked about. There's a second overseer here. Then this way we have the kennel master, as he's pointing out to me, which is the one I do know. Kennel master drops the hammered hoop earring or something it's called. Very highly sought after. It's a no drop though, so if you're killing for it and not looting yourself, you'll have to sell the loot rights, which is this spawn right here. This guy's been here for a while doing it. The Kennel Master. Overall simple fight. And then you've got this dog here also spawns a named dog. Can't remember its name, but I think it dropped something okay. Which I need to go kill the Kennel Master for that hammered earring. So I'd like to wear it. Alright, back here we have the vendor, which is, yeah, our Haggle Baron is our vendor. Let's actually sell some of this stuff. That's it. And then lastly, we can head over into the bank area, and we'll show just what's around there. And then we will just kind of wait to start killing. All right, through the waterfall. Okay, up here. We've got this guy right here is the foreman. Placeholder. So I might have said the foreman somewhere else, but that's the foreman there. And then this way, up this way, we've got our Vault Master Shuzu is your bank. So you can just bank here anytime you want. Very simple stuff. And then this guy right here, the manager, Sarnak manager, he is the placeholder for the auditor, which drops a very, very highly sought-after belt. Girdle of Rapidity, I believe it is. And that thing sells for like 20 to 50,000 plat. Now, as you can see, this is a very, very difficult room of dealing with this guy. And these are all like level 56 guys, pretty much. I think maybe these guys might be like 52 to 54, but overall, that is our fights. That's what we know, at least so far. This is what we're dealing with. What we'll do from here is we'll just start like doing some of these farms, killing one name at a time as we can. I almost want to just try our Vault Master or our manager first. Get that belt. Let me go ahead and med up and see what I can do. So, I mean, if we can get our pacifies, we'll have to sit here and just see what are our... You can tell that guy has been charmed, so he's our charm. But what has been... what passed through? And then... I assume our bank is going to aggro as well. He's green con, so... Alright, let me med up. See what... Oh, no. I almost cast Stun. I was trying to cast Clarity. Let's not stand next to that guy.
Alright guys, so we have the Sarnak Auditor up. It looks like he does have just a dumb little dagger, which is nothing great, but he is the name. We do want to kill him. I've gone ahead and charmed everything in the room already, or not charmed, but pacified. Now we're just going to do our typical fight here. Pretty sure this can be lured. I might be wrong with that. He has a torch though, so I assume that's the typical pet we're going with. Perfecto. Oh, I needed that. I'm going to take it in here. We got everything. He's just a normal warrior. Compared to the manager, who is the wizard. I figured over here, this guy's a green, so if things happen badly and I get a crit resist or something, it's all good. Yeah, I'll try and hit him right here, actually. Should be an easy fight, I think. I mean, it looks like my guy's already on top of him. Which is slow. I think he's like a 57, 58 warrior or something like that. I will most likely haste my pet once I get this to land, just to make the fight go faster. Don't expect to get things back under control if you haste your pet. These high-end pets can really wreck. Well, he's kind of whooping my guy, so we will need to haste him anyway. Just gotta hope that charm lasts. One's slow too, so you just have to really worry about the one. There we go. Take this fight the other way. Hopefully he drops like a good spell or something. Give us something worthwhile. Get him, guard, get him. Overall, with this whole zone, if you know where to find the pet and you know how to pull them out in certain situations, seems like the fights are pretty easy. Magic resistance isn't too bad. They do enrage. They are high level, so you want to kind of learn the Rapture trick, which I don't even have Rapture bought yet. I need to go to Fariona V, buy Rapture, and then we can start single pulling things out by using Rapture. And just like other things that we've done to kind of the tactics to get the mobs out, kill the PHs without hurting faction, all that good stuff. So there we go. We got the Auditor. Now the Auditor, again, drops that really good belt. That's what we were going for, but didn't have it. Hopefully there respawns an Auditor again. Do that again. And then next part of the video, we'll go ahead and kill another named.
Alright guys, so we're back in here. We're going to go after, pretty much showing you how we're going to take out the placeholders. Now, I've just been pacifying these guys. I've come to find out that pretty much all of these mobs back here, I don't know about the Janissary up front there, but they can all spawn named mobs. I'm going to go ahead and target this Interrogator, because his named, that I believe spawns there, drops a 20,000 platinum ring, which seems really nice. Now, I'm not sure all the mobs that actually spawn someone that's a name, but we know the Inspector, we know the Imperial Officer, I know the Imperial Courier, and I know the Imperial Interrogator. I'm not sure about that Janissary, but that this pit room here is definitely seems to be the spot if you're looking to make that money. Now, to kill this placeholder, like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to charm this guy back here, pretty much pacifying the mobs right around him, so that when I charm him, the mobs that aggro don't run right at me, because they won't run at him, they'd run right at me, and if you get too many, that's going to be death. This Inspector is causing trouble. Hopefully we can make it. Oh, shoot. Okay, so crit resist, this is how we do it anyways. We're jumping down here. Slippery, slippery, slippery. Now, I think you also have time to camp out here. I'm just going to gate out because I'm bound at the entrance. And then hopefully I can get back in before the pacifies wear off. Since I just cast them, I'll run right back down. I might just go ahead and dictate the Interrogator right away. Sick him on the Inspector to grab that aggro. And then we just got 48 seconds to make sure that he dies. So we're going to have him get hit by as much as possible. Like I mentioned before, luckily, nothing at this point of the zone actually summons. So even if they get a little low or something, because I think this Interrogator is a Shadow Knight. So he will harm touch someone right off the bat, which would cause them to summon once charm breaks if they were summoning. But as far as I've been told and seen, nothing summons here until you get to the royal area. So once we're fighting Prince and everything, that's when that will become a bit of an issue. Quick run down. Definitely a great money-making zone as far as I've seen. The one bad thing about this zone I've seen is like a lot of people can solo this. So it's not just an Enchanter with skill zone. You have Shamans, you have Necros, the whole ordeal are able to solo a lot of what's in the zone. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm just going to pop him onto that guy. Try and get him over here. And then we do our fall. And then just hopefully he dies here within about 30 seconds. Getting beat up pretty good. Could probably just camp out right here. It's a little scary. Should get him here. Cast my gate instead, huh? Jesus. Almost went out too early. Alright, so there we go. Our placeholder is taken out. And that's how we can do all those placeholders up there. Wait for the names to pop in. We don't lose our faction that way. And then we can just take that one kill with the name pops. Alright guys, so we're back here in Chardok again. We're in the Arch Inspector room, and you can see we have Cora cussed up, we have Arch Inspector Nibsley, and I found out that the Imperial Courier also is a placeholder for a name. So we're going to try and take the Cora cussed out, and maybe the Arch Inspector too. I'm thinking they're probably both too high of a level, Korcust, it says level 59. He AoE blinds. Sounds absolutely horrendous. And then the Arch Inspector, let's look at what level he is, a 56. So we're going to have to definitely pet something like back here. Probably that Dragoon right there. And then we're going to have to pacify everything that we see. Dang, okay, so I'm going to have to... This is going to be tough. So I'm going to pacify pretty much everything we see on that top there. I think we'll be able to pull all the way and kill that guy back there. Let's go ahead and just see how we can do this here. 59, that's going to be really, really tough. Hopefully he's only... Now this room has special tricks too. If we want to have the placeholders, we'll typically charm the placeholder, have him attack everything here, jump over the edge, and then let the pet die so we don't hurt our faction, and then we can like gate out or we can camp out, either one. So let's go ahead and just give this a shot. We're gonna go ahead and pacify through. If anything breaks, we gotta run real quick. And I'm hoping none of these are healers. That would make it even tougher. And then hopefully that these down here won't aggro him as well. If we fight right up there. Taking a big... I did bind at the entrance. So if things do go poorly... Let me go ahead and get gate up too, just in case. Alright, almost. I should have probably pacified the guys behind me where I'm going to grab my pet. Because of the timers. We don't want that time to run out. Okay, so I'll pacify him last, huh? Almost there. Alright, 2 more to go. Cross your fingers, no crit resist. Alright. Cool. Alright. I think I still got a torch on me. Hopefully he's a 51 so I can allure him. We will see though, won't we? Shoot. Resisted Mez. Is that a end stun? At least it did mesmerize there. Hopefully 51. If not, we'll have to get our Boltrons. Okay, so he's higher than 51. I guess that's good for the fight. Let's go. Cross your fingers that none of these guys need anything else handled. Got a big old cool sword. I don't know where to fight this guy. Where's my guy? Pet. All right. Good so far. No breaks, please, because we're in a really rough spot here. Overall, my guy is whooping him. Got that other named right behind him, too. We could just kind of go after right after, but Boltran's is a shorter charm, so we have to be careful of that. Now, is this guy a caster? Let's see. Usually the names are like a bunch of warriors. Yeah, this is a 59 warrior. Overall, getting his butt kicked pretty good. So just cross our fingers there's no charm breaks here. I will grab gate because I don't need...
Sorry, Daddy.
I don't know what all that... There's always red, like, magic stuff going right there. I don't know what that means, if it hurts you or... There's something there, just like an effect. Charmed, or Pacify should last pretty good here. I don't think we're going to have a problem there. It's just if Charm breaks, then my stun is most likely going to hit that Interrogator too, which is a problem. As long as it lasts just 35% more, I'll be able to gate out. Slow. Good stuff. The guys in this zone seem not to be too magic resistant. They are at levels where, like, your charm won't hold. They'll be too high to mez. They'll be even too high to stun sometimes. So you got to really kind of figure out the placeholders and the names that you can do those things on. To be able to use your tactics. I've had a lot of times where I can't even mez certain placeholders, like the Kennel Master. That's the one who drops the earring. Can't even mez him or stun him. He's too high of a level. So that makes the fight very difficult for us. I've pretty much avoided that so far. This is kind of one of the best rooms as far as all the different things. You have the Arch, whatever he's called, Inspector, Korakost, and then the Courier here also, I believe, can spawn the Korakost, like, Servant, or whatever it's called, the Courier, Korakost Courier. So you have 3 names that can pop in this zone, or in this room, that are pretty solid. 4% more, no breaks, gate out, just run back down, do the same thing with the Arch Inspector, and then we'll do the Courier kill here, we'll do our placeholder method, so that you can see how we kill our placeholders. Dang. Got a whole bunch of stuff there. Alright, so we got the Worn Shadin Nagjanita. I think that's about 5,000 plat right there. We've got 2 spells, Infusion and Dizzle's Deafening Decoy, and then the message to Faradar. I'm not sure what that actually is for, but overall that's how we can take out Korakost, the name there. We'll come back in. I will take out the Courier there, so you can see how we break the placeholders, and then that's pretty much us. All right, let's go ahead and go for our Arch Inspector. I'm going to go ahead and pacify, I think, just these 4. And we should be good. Let me go ahead and pacify these up here first, because I will pet that guy right there again. And like I said, I'm pacifying these guys up here first because the timer situation. I don't want the timers to run out over there, which we should be fine. But since we're petting this guy, we don't really care about the timers in the long run of the fight. We just need them pacified long enough for me to pet that guy. So So I got them. I don't think I'm going to need to get that warlord. Hopefully not. Yeah, but...
Hi, Peter.
Oh my goodness. Trying to be too loud. I'm still recording. Tough one.
Okay. How did this pumpkin like get up here?
Don't play with that right now. Just play with something else for a minute. Let me clean that. It does not want to go down, does it? I'm not talking about it. Okay, so courier's already been gotten, huh? Dang, come on. Finally. Alright, 2 more here. And I'm pretty sure that's because Warlord hopefully will not aggro. You know, I've not even bought Rapture yet, too, which is our level 60 Mesmerize spell, which is very important. Especially when things go poorly on these really high level dudes. Alright. Alright, same thing as last. I don't know if this guy is a caster. He may be. Oh no, my protection of the glade, it's going. Alright, is this guy going to aggro right there? He might aggro, actually. He might actually. He was going to most likely aggro, honestly. They got a little pathing situation here, you can see. Alright, so far so good. Going through.
Joining us.
I mean, I could almost just pull the courier after this fight. Well, I guess we don't want to kill him because we want to save our faction. So I do want to show you that too. Because any of these guys that are the names that we just killed, they're placeholders. We want to kill them without losing our faction as much as possible. So I will show you that with the courier. This room does seem like the best one for us enchanters. Maybe the herbalist too. You know, there's lots of good mobs here that drop a lot of good stuff. I mean, we just probably, I think that what he's holding is like a 1,000 to 2,000 platinum piece. Not too sure. But that last one was about 5,000, so a good 6,000 plat just on those kills. Oh, he enrages, so we got to pull back our guy. Oh, he's no longer. I didn't even pay attention. So he just whooped our guy when he didn't need to. All right. Good stuff. Let's get out of here.
Alright guys, so we've got our first names have started to pop here. I'm just right from the three-way here in the captain area. It looks like the watch captain Hiral did pop here, so we can go ahead and kill him. Very easy fight. I think this is probably our easiest one. Now, I've not killed any names. I've only killed a few placeholders since I've been here, kind of exploring the zone. But overall, haven't done any of these fights, so I'm not sure about any of them. This looks like a pretty straightforward. I'm obviously going to pacify everything in the room, charm one of those there, kill him, thinking this skeleton probably is going to add as well. If I were to fight right here, I'm kind of feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and pacify him. So many enemies in this place. I did see the Arch Inspector's up as well, so hopefully no one's going to be killing him here. Let's go ahead and start it off. Doubt I'm gating anywhere, huh? I feel like they do not have trouble with pacifies. They don't really have huge magic resist, it feels like. Could be way off on that. Just in case. Alright, now from here, straightforward fight. They're all, most of the names are just warriors, so pretty simple, I think. Most all your pets are going to already have torches and stuff, since this is a very popular enchanter zone. The charms do not last very long. At least in my experience so far charming here, I am getting breaks very, very quickly. But, you know, that's okay. This guy.
stun him if I accidentally get another one. Captain didn't even summon there, so he's hitting for 165. I think they're level 56, somewhere around that, the names. 56 to 60. There we go. Got one down. Got an earring. Earring of Everfount. So mages can apparently teleport with this one. It's kind of cool. Oh yeah, I haven't been wearing a Goblin Gazoogie earring because I've been doing the Coldane quest. So I got to remember to switch it out whenever I want to break my pet. Glurum. Alright, first named is down. Cool. Alright guys, so we got Overseer Dalgur down here. He drops a few good items. A mask for a bard. I got a buddy here. He tried to kill him a second ago, died. Just trying to get the mask for the bard. I'm not sure what else he drops here, but I told him I'd give it a shot, try and kill him to help him out, because he's bound in Western Waste, so he's got a long run till he gets back here. That's why we always bind right outside the door. I'm just looking him up right now. Okay, he drops the mask, which is cool. That's a halfling illusion mask, just like all the bard rogue masks go. He drops an Ixar hide cape, which is worth quite a bit, about 10,000. Everything else looks kind of dumb. But overall, just trying to look up the mobs here. Oof, we don't like to see that. Big old train out. Trying to look up the mobs here and see exactly which ones are the best to charm. I'm going to assume I'm going to have to grab that Chardok pit boss there. Let me just double check. Just with all these mobs, like, you never know which ones are going to be 55 plus and be a complete disaster if you try and charm them. Because if they can't be charmed, they typically can't be mez, they can't be stunned, nothing. So you're just trying to get a blanket off or a gate off, or you got to cap out, which I don't really want to use my cap. All right, what's this guy called? A Sarnak pit boss. Okay, so these, I shouldn't have to pacify these apparently. Gotcha. So the miners will aggro. Alright, I completely lost my my footing here. Alright, herb collector. Where was this guy? Slave master. Probably a Boltron's there. So he says that if I stand right on him, I don't aggro him? Really? Let's give it a shot. I don't have a torch though. Alright. Let's do it. So if I stand right on him, he says, I gotta have him guard right on top of him. Okay. Let's try it. Alright. Slowed. Looking good so far. Oh, kinda. Might have to haste our pet just to get it done. Hasting pet's always scary, but if things break here, I think everything kind of runs at me anyway, so let's just get this done quicker, huh? Don't knock him back too far, please. Alright, let's see what he's got here. My guy's getting his butt kicked. Oh, he's enraged. That's why. I don't care, just let him finish, please. Alright, got him. Just a dumb rain. Cool. Well, there we go. We got the Overseer there. Tunaire's Request and Overseer's Signet. Sweet. Got another named out of the way. Let's move on, find another one we can take out. Alright, what's up guys? We are back down here. We are at the Prince room right now. I'm going to go ahead and try and solo this guy. Now this is like a raid boss pretty much. I think he's like level 61 warrior, extremely tough, has like this whirlwind spin that stuns you for a good 10 seconds, and then like a fear as well. And then you can see the room that he's dealing with here is just absolutely horrendous as far as what we got to lock down and get in control. So all those mobs that you see in there, we need to pacify. We're going to need to pacify those two at the front. We got to pacify two over here, and then be able to pet one. Now, these guards are mostly like, you know, a Boltron's level charm, but I have heard and seen that you can use a lure sometimes to find a 51. And I'm not sure if that's actually what ideal, since we're going after Prince and a level 51 is going to probably get smacked down pretty good, where a level 53 might be able to hold its fight a little bit better. But if you have a Wand of Allure, you can use the wand to recharm and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have a Wand of Allure. I've never picked one up. I do have a Reaper for this, which gives us a complete heal. So we'll be able to at least have 2 pets, pretty much, out of these guys. Now, what I'm thinking I'm going to do to start is I want to go ahead and prep. Now, I wish that I was asking these guys that are level 51 and 52 if they have faction, so they could run down here and just con these guys. Tell me if they're even con or blue con, because that would tell me if they're level 51 or not, so I can do a lure. I'm just going to assume and hope that they're actually higher and we have that Boltron's at last. But prepping, as far as I'm thinking, is I'll pacify these guys to start. I will go ahead and charm one to begin. I'll give him a torch, and I'll go ahead and haste him. That haste lasts like 20 minutes or something. I'll camp out, come back in, and then I can start pacifying all the mobs necessary, pull out the prince, and then I will fight him in this hallway right here where it's pretty much a safe spot. So you can fight him back here. These guys aren't going to aggro or anything like that. That guy can't see you. Now, the one thing that is an issue is that Judicator right there. He's a shaman, so he has hasted the prince. He most likely has also cast Spirit of the Wolf. The sorcerers there, they are wizards, so they have given him a damage shield. So this guy is seriously buffed up. So one thing that we could also do is possibly dictate that Judicator there, send them in after the prince so that he dies. We gate out before these guys attack us, and then we come back in, and that shaman will be out of the way, and hopefully when the respawn comes, it'll be one of the royal guards or something like that, just so that we can get rid of the shaman buffs. Because overall, when we're pacifying, we can go ahead and stand way back this way, and if we have a crit resist or anything, we will have time to gate out. If they don't have Spirit of the Wolf. With a shaman and Spirit of the Wolf, they're most likely going to be able to catch up to us, is what I'm assuming. And, you know, we've got a decent cushion here. I've got like 2 or 3 deaths until I would lose level 60. And experience doesn't really matter at this point anyways. Clerics roll through here all the time. So I can always get a res if necessary. So with that in mind, I don't need my cat. I'll go ahead and throw my Reaper in here. Throw one of these guys. These guys give me a 200 HP heal. Frothy Goblin Tonic, so, you know, just in case. Who knows? And then the biggest thing is really just kind of getting the pacifies the land. If you can get those pacifies the land, then, you know, it's just a normal kind of fight with a tough mob. So I think what I'm going to do is prepare here. Now I am worried that if I mez these guys that this guy is going to aggro. But I think we might have distance on it. So what I'm kind of thinking is I'm going to grab a lure and I'm just going to go ahead and test these guys out. See which one of them could be a 51. We'll start with the guy in the corner over there. And like I said, just pre-prep. So that someone's casting on him from the other wall, that Judicator. I almost want to take that Judicator out. If I send him on the Prince, then he's probably not going to be able to even do enough damage to the Prince to cause him to be able to summon me. But then again, I wonder if I'll be able to gate out in time. It's kind of the other thought. Alright, so we're going to try this guy in front of us as our first test. Alright, so he's down. Alright, I just want to go ahead. All I'm doing is seeing if this guy can be allured. And if he aggroes that guy there. Okay, good. He does not aggro him. Let's see if he can be allured. That'll tell us he's 51 or not. Okay, so he is level 51. I'm going to go ahead and break that before my mez breaks so that I can just go ahead and clear him. Perfect. Okay, so we have a level 51 right here. Let me go ahead and do the same thing to this guy. It might be worth me going and pick up a Wand of Allure real quick. Okay, 53. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, I didn't. That's right. Hopefully it gets off. Alright, the guy in the corner is a 51. This guy is higher. I forgot I didn't pacify that guy. Almost went poorly. Okay, now our Royal Guard over here. Let's go ahead and pacify this guy and just try this last one as well. More knowledge you have of the mobs, the better you're going to do. Alright. And we're getting a little pre-tash on these guys too, just in case. Most likely my tash wears off by the time the fun starts, but that's okay. Okay. He's level 52 or higher as well. Okay, so we now know the levels of our mobs. We've got a 51, 51, or higher than 51, higher than 51. So I'm almost, you know, Allure does last longer. So that's a positive with that. But also, you know, the higher levels against the Prince is most likely going to be better for us in the fight. Just the amount of damage he'll do on him. The charm last won't be as long. And, you know, if I had a Wand of Allure, then that is very important. Because what I would do is I would charm one of the 52 or higher with Boltrons. If that pet dies, then I would use the Wand of Allure on the 51. So we have that ready to go. But since I don't even have a Wand of Allure, it's not really that big of a deal. I'm just going to go with one of the 53s. And I think I'm going to go ahead and prep them up. So I got probably like, what, 5 minutes left on my pacifies there. Got to get our full mana because it's going to be a very mana-intensive battle since I have so many pacifies to do early. But what I want to do to prepare this guy is I'm going to go ahead and charm him with the Boltrons. I'm going to hand him a torch, and I'm going to haste him. Now, I also don't have my highest level haste yet as well. I'm very lacking a lot of good spells that we need. Like the Visions of Grandeur, which is our really high-level haste spell and our damage spell to put on a pet, put on a melee. I don't have my epic yet. Obviously, because that's what we're going to get. That's what we're going for off the Prince. He drops the head, Prince's head or whatever, and that's part of our Everquest. So we need that. That has a good, you know, melee spell for us too. So we don't have our best spells, but we'll give it, you know, we'll give them the, what is it called? WR, Wondrous Rapidity or whatever. Yeah. Which is like a 70% haste, so not too bad. And most likely what I'll do is I'll like ruin and bedlam him throughout the entire fight. Very important that we get a slow off on the Prince. We're going to have to definitely start the fight off with this spell. Because again, that Judicator is over there. Man, like I said, it's almost worth us just taking out that Judicator. so that we don't have to deal with that. If we can get it to where he's not... I guess we're going to have to dispel anyways, because he's going to have a damage shield from the sorcerers. So it's just going to be, I'm going to have to dispel, Tash, and then get the slows off. So hopefully by the time he runs to me, I could get a dispel and a Tash off right away, and then run him back over here before I get hit or anything. Alright, 92% mana. I'm going to have to med up when I come back in as well. It's alright. Let's give it a shot here, huh? Alright, guys. Let's get this guy handled. So he's already dubious. You come over here. Get out of the way. I'm a camp. Hopefully it doesn't break. Probably should just gate right there, honestly. I have 60% mana. I got to fill back up. That's a what? 20-minute, I think, on that. Because he's going to be hitting hard and fast if that breaks right now. Okay, we've got a 18.4 to 20-minute timer on that haste. So should be able to do okay, considering we only have 7 minutes on our pacify. So we got to really get lucky on these pacifies is the main thing. Let me go ahead and put a 20-minute, I'll put a 19-minute timer just so that I know when his haste runs out. Now, if we get some bad pacifies or anything, obviously crit resist, and we have to just kind of start over. That's really the luck part on this. You got to get those crit resists to land, and hopefully you get them like first tries and everything. And they're all going to be hasted too, which kind of sucks. But I think we're okay. Just met up a little bit here. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing a mana spell, which I'm going to need as much mana as possible, considering I'll be ruining and beddling him the whole time. Do I have enough shots for this? Okay, we got enough. On a cold angering instead of a goblin Gazugi. Hopefully no other buffs drop while we're doing this. That would be not cool. I wonder if I could cast Pacify from the other side of this little walkway. Because again, if I can get out of here... I think I might be too far away, though, for a lot of them. If I can get out of here with the gate, that really helps a lot of the issues that pop up. Alright, let me see how far back. He's the farthest away. So if I can cast from back here. No, too far. Okay, that's no problem. Let me see, actually. Get a bind sight on him. Oh, look at that one. One of my most importance. Dropping. Now, as long as I can cast on that guard right there, and that guard right there. Okay, too far away. Too far away. Alright, no problem. Just testing out our cast length. Let's see from here. Nope. Nope. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna be able to gate out. Alright. Okay, we're not going to be able to stun anything, at least in the beginning. 81%. Just get that 15% back, and then we will start our pacifies. And fingers crossed we get lucky. The wiki does say that the room is easily pacified with a 60 Enchanter, and you have a pretty likely chance that you're going to get a crit resist on these guys. It's just a numbers situation. Let me check my timer. We got about 13.5 minutes left on the haste spell, which we may end up having to re-haste in the middle, but that's okay. Okay, so I guess let's go ahead and start it. We're at 98%. Well, at least get an idea if we're going to be able to gate out in time if things don't go well. We're at 13 minutes. One. Okay, 13:10, meaning at about 6:10, I will have to go. Oh man, that's 2 in a row. Oh my gosh. 3, come on, dude. Just give me that luck. Oh, maybe this is easy to pacify. Okay, we got, what, 3 more in here? That's all our front mobs. We get this guy down. Come on. I'll try and get the other 4 with the calm if we can get those. Shoot. Here he comes. Let's see if I can get that off. Oh, okay. So we can get a gate off. right there, you can see just the luck and the pacify. So overall, we had a really good run there. That last guard really hurt us, just with that crit resist, but that's pretty much it. Is we're gonna have to get really lucky on our pacifies, and then actually get an attempt at the fight. So that is pretty much the strategy. I'm going to continue doing it, and I'll record each time, and the next time you see this, hopefully I am successful, or at least we get an attempt at fighting the guy, see how it goes. Because I've seen a few attempts at it from people, and they've gone through 3 or 4 pets and gotten whomped, and I've seen someone do it with just 1 pet. So we'll just have to see how it goes for us. Alright guys, so we are back down in the Prince area. Now, my microphone wasn't actually working when I recorded this, so this is just me doing a little voiceover, but that'll allow me to explain the fight, everything going on, and all that good stuff. Now, it has been about 10 days since, maybe 2 weeks even, since I did the very first attempt on Prince. I marked down all my stats just to show you guys. This is definitely not something that you farm. It's a very difficult fight, and a lot of things have to go in your favor. You got to get very, very lucky on a few different things for it to work. Now, overall, I was able to attempt this pull 22 times. Out of those 22 attempts, I got 12 crit resist when I was trying to pacify the room. So didn't even get a fight attempt there. Out of the 22 attempts, I was able to get 10 fight attempts when I actually pulled the prince out and we were able to fight him. Out of those 10 attempts, I was able to get him below 10% health 4 of the times. Now, out of all my 22 attempts, I died 9 times. Sometimes that was from the crit resist on the pacifies and I wasn't able to gate out quick enough. Sometimes that was on the prince fights when things didn't go well, if charm broke early, or if I just couldn't get my slows off, or whatever it may be. Now, out of those 22 attempts, I was able to kill him 1 time, which is the attempt you're watching here. Now, pretty much I've broken this fight into a couple phases. All right, so our first phase here, we have these mobs on the front door and around the room that we're going to be fighting in the hallway. Now, you could obviously just pacify all these guys. I decided, instead of going on my luck of pacifying 3, 4 extra mobs or whatever, I kill all the extra mobs. So I want to have 2 pets here. I have a level 52, 53 Boltron's charm pet we leave up. We have a level 51 pet that we could allure, mostly for the Wand of Allure if things go bad. Now, I was never able to actually get a good Wand of Allure off to be able to help the fight or anything, but, theoretically, that is one way to go. So, phase 1 here, I'm grabbing my Boltron's level pet, and I'm killing the 3 mobs that we will not need in the fight. So, as you see here, I'm pacifying these 2 sorcerers, and I'll pacify that royal guard there. Then I will go charm the pet by the door because he's my Boltron's target, and I will kill just those 3 mobs that we get going. And that's pretty much phase 1. This allows me 1 20-minute respawn timer on these mobs so that we don't, 1, have to pacify them, cause mana loss, or having the crit resist issue out here. Because one big part of the fight when it comes to the prince is you want to have as much mana as possible, because that slow is going to have a really hard time sticking a lot of the time. You got to get 2 slows off on him, 1 in the first half of the fight, 1 in the second fight, and many of the deaths that I had happened because I was unable to get 2 slows on him. Maybe I ran out of mana, maybe it just he resisted so much and it took all my mana to make it happen. Whatever it is, we want to make sure we have as much mana as possible. So in phase 1 here, we're killing these 3 mobs. This allows me also to haste my pet. I did eventually get Visions of Grandeur that has a 42-minute respawn timer, so I haste him during this fight. I camp out, I med back to full. He's all buffed, he has the items on him, all that good stuff, and then I go to phase 2, which is the pacify phase, where I'm pacifying the room. And like I said, it's about a 50%, less than 50% 45% conversion rate as far as if you're going to actually be able to pacify everything without a crit resist. Now, you are sometimes able to get a gate off before they hit you. If there's a Judicator in the room, everything's going to be have Spirit of the Wolf, and you won't be able to gate out of there. So before, if you see a Judicator anywhere near this fight happening, you need to kill it first. If it's in the room with the Prince, what I did is I would dictate kill. So I would pacify everything near it. I would dictate charm it, and I would have it go and fight everything in the room so that they kill it very quickly. Now, if you hit anything below like 97% health or whatever, they will summon you. The mobs down here do summon. So if you're doing that, be ready to cap out or be smart of how you target the enemies so that you can gate out if you get that. I had to cap out every time. But that's how I got rid of the Judicators in the room. Luckily, it was only like one would be in a room. Sorcerers, I left up. Not too big of a problem. All they do is the damage shield on the Prince. So I can definitely dispel that. But overall, that's how we prepare the fight. I did use a few attempts. I used some negative magic resistant gear on my pets. I used like an adamantite ring, which gives negative 10 MR. I used the rusty spike shoulder pads, which give another negative 10. And I used the Tomb of Eternal something, I believe it's called. And that gives another minus 10. So all those three stacked up. Now, on my attempts that I actually killed things and made it work, that didn't we didn't have that gear. That was one of my first attempts. I had all that on my pet, which does help you hold your pet a little bit longer. But again, it is kind of an RNG situation. So we didn't have those in our last attempts here. Not necessary for sure. But a lot of my deaths that on those attempts were my charms breaking a little early. And considering I used a Boltron's pet, Wand of Allure wouldn't allow me to recharm very quickly. And if charm broke, it pretty much meant I was dead or I had to cap out. So let's go ahead and just kind of watch the end of phase 1 here, where we are again killing these mobs as quickly as we possibly can. Now, obviously, doing this way, too, you're going to be hurting your faction a little bit more than usual. So one thing you want to be aware of is where your faction sits. Luckily, as an Enchanter, we have that collaboration, which can knock us up another kind of level on faction. So I'm sitting at Dubious right here, and like any kind of kill could knock me from Dubious to a threatening level, which would hurt when I'm running by these other mobs, because typically they don't have a kill on sight with me, so they're not going to attack. So I like to, if I'm in Dubious, I like to cast that collaboration because that puts me up to apprehensive. And even if my faction normally is going to be a kill on sight, and I make that kill that sets me that one faction lower, I'll be able to still have good faction by that collaboration. So it never really had much trouble. It's very easy to get that faction back up and everything. But overall, that's just something you want to be aware of, because if you just like one of these kills out of the 3 ends up knocking you down, it could cause trouble, you know, once you're running by again. Now on this, I went ahead and camped out since I do have my pet heavily hasted. He's got his torch. He hits very, very fast, so if you try and break and like Membler and stuff, that can often cause you to lose a bunch of your health, if not die. Obviously, you can get it off. And I found that Visions of Grandeur, I like it a little bit better as a charm pet haste, because the haste is only like 55, 58% or something, whereas I was using Wondrous Rapidity, and that's like a 70% haste. So when it comes to that charm break and the haste, you want to make sure that they aren't, the slower they hit, the better, because you're going to not be able to be interrupted as much. And I've noticed that 58% haste usually allows you to get your stuns in, compared to the 70%, they're hitting so fast that you're not going to be able to get that stun off without it interrupting you, most likely. So I did like Vogue. It does give him more attacks, buffs and all that stuff too, so that's solid. But overall, I do like Vogue over like a Wondrous Rapidity. All right, so that was phase 1 right there. Everything's good to go. We got our guys out of the way. 20-minute respawn timer, 20 and a half maybe. But overall, you have plenty of time to do this next section. Phase 2 here is all about the pacifies. Again, this is a very, very big luck situation. 45% of the time, you're going to be able to pacify everything in the room, at least from my 22 attempts that I did. So you're not going to get the fight every time. Try and just have your escape route ready to go. Gate out as quick as you can. You could even run it, you know, if you wanted to, with our trick we were doing in the core across the room. If you can make it to the bridge area, you're going to be able to fall down below and then gate out because that long path they got. Now, if people are killing things in the graveyard or at the bridge or anything, then you're pretty much killing them by running by. So you got to be careful there. And then the entrance, like we walked in at the beginning of going to the Prince area, you saw that there was traps on that bridge. If you have a levitate on, there's the door to the left. It doesn't have a bridge to it, but you can levitate to it, and there's no traps there. So they're not going to have that stun trap. They're not going to have that freeze trap at the door that will get you, and you can just run in and out there with no problem. So that's a positive there as well. But overall, very simple part here is just pacifying. Hopefully that they land, and you can move on. Again, killing those 3 mobs here at the front allows me to cut out 3 of those pacifies. Now, I will med to full before I start pacifying these guys, and if like the first mob that I cast on crit or resist but doesn't crit resist, then I'll again wait, because it's just 2 or 3% mana that pacify will take of what I've got. But that, again, 100%, the more mana you can have as possible, the better. All right, so once we have the entire Prince room pacified, we have our 1 pet here, our backup pet that I want to pacify as well. Just get him down so that he doesn't add on the fight anytime sooner. Now, if you fight the Prince in the hallway there, you won't get any aggro or anything, but just in case, and especially if you've got to run out and get a Wand of Allure off, you know, you want to make sure that you don't have him adding on or anything. Now right here, we're starting this fight, you know, before we charm around, looks like 55, 60% mana, which is a little low, but overall, as long as we get those slows to last, to stick, you're going to be good to go. Did have a break, so I was without my Bedlam and Ruin. Now on the Prince, he's most likely going to have damage shield or any buffs from the local the casters that are close by. That's why we take out that Judicator just in case. And then the damage shield, I still would start out with a Dispel on my pull. Bringing my pet back here into the hallway so that he can get his position kind of in place. Obviously, you can cast right through the door, be able to pull him. Pull with a Tash there because he had no casters nearby, so I didn't need to Dispel, which I'm pretty sure he didn't have a damage shield here. Got him. Pet attacks. Now, the Prince does do 2 special moves. He has this stun whirlwind. I'm sitting down, so I'm not spinning, but if I was standing, I'd be spinning right now as I'm stunned. You also have a blind, so you know how blinds go. Your whole screen goes black. It's like a 10-second blind, and he does it quite a bit. So if you stand too close, you'll get in trouble. Now, I got very lucky there because I got my first slow cast landed. You know, if you have the mana, you got the stats and everything, you could start ruining and bedlaming your pet here to try and keep his health. This is a 2-pet fight. So you either have to have that Reaper to give him his life back or that Wand of Allure to grab another pet. There's no way you're going to be able to get through it without him pretty much destroying the first 100% of your pet's life. I may have seen someone else pull it off without needing a Reaper or a Wand, but I have no idea how they did it. Just non-stop Bedlams and non-stop Ruins, but I've never had a fight where I had enough mana. I wasn't casting the Bedlams and Ruins in the first half of the fight here because I wanted to 100% make sure that my second half slow landed. That was how I died many times. Many attempts on this was that second slow, never landed, and then he's just like destroying my pet, hitting too fast where I will get destroyed if I walk up to him and all that good stuff. So you can see we're doing pretty good here. Charm's holding, slow landed quickly. Pet is down to about 25%. Prince is almost at that halfway mark. So just kind of waiting to click my Reaper of the Dead, give my guy his life back. And then it's just about, again, the luck of that second half slow. Get that second half slow to go. Then you're just worried about the luck of the charm holding. And that's another question I have for myself on the Boltrons compared to Allure. Since Boltrons is only like a 7-minute long charm, you kind of need to have a full charm duration last if you want this to actually work for you on a Boltrons. If you get any shorter, it's going to typically break during the fight. Allure gives you like another 5-10 minutes on your charm, so that's a positive there, but I'm not sure if that level 51 compared to a 52 or 53 pet is going to play a big role, because typically my pets are getting pretty low on these fights. So you can see this one's being a little bit more stubborn on the second half here, but eventually we do get it to land. Six cast in, maybe. There we go, got it. All right, so now at this part of the fight, again, it's about hoping that your charm lasts, and then I'm just bedlaming and ruining my pet from here to try and make sure he stays up. The last difficult part of the fight, the thing you got to pay attention to, is the enrage. So at 10% he will enrage, and anything hitting him from the front side, he won't be able to be hit by it, and he will parry, riposte, all that good stuff. So you want to either be pulling your pet back, which is still going to get him hit a little bit. The better strategy is to go up and face tank him from the opposite side. So that turns his back to your pet, allowing your pet to fight through it. As long as the enemy is slowed, he's only going to get a handful of shots on you. Obviously, don't have your melee up because he will be parrying and all that good stuff on you. You can see I'm out of mana here. We are blinded right as I walked in, but I am pretty much face tanking him here because I'm right next to him. When you're blinded too, I don't think I was running away. I tried to run away, but I got stunned right here as well. Because when I pop back in, I'm still standing right next to him taking shots, which could have been death for sure. You can see how long the stun is, or the blind. I mean, that was 15 seconds maybe. All right, so he's at 9%, 8%. When enraged, face tanking him here. He's only getting 1 or 2 shots. Once that enrage pops off, you go back. And then right here, we're just crossing our fingers. You can see where our guard's at. You can see where the prince is at. Extremely close fight. Getting everything ready to bolt out of there. Prince is down. So there we go. We have our epic quest piece there, the head of the prince. We got some spells. We got a whole bunch of good stuff. His axe is kind of a dumb piece, but overall, that is how you do the prince. Now, this is on the god tier for duos on the solo artist challenge. So we were able to solo a god tier duo target, which is pretty sweet. Not many people have been able to solo Prince, and we've notched that one off our belt as well. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this Chardok video, kind of walking through. I didn't show all the targets of some of the other names I haven't really gone after and killed, like the Kennel Master. I haven't done the graveyard area, but overall those are very straightforward fights, nothing difficult or different than what we would do. We might use that dictate trick to be able to kill the PHs without hurting our faction. We're just looking for the mobs around that are the level 51 to 53 so that we can charm. And that's pretty much all it is to the zone. Really great zone for great gear to make that money, all that good stuff. So once again, guys, thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next one.